Law of conservation of mass. Can we create or destroy matter? What do you think? What happens during Diwali? You bring a rocket, you light it, and you see that a rocket goes in the sky and it vanishes. Well, have you destroyed your rocket? That means, have you destroyed matter? Okay, so when you light the rocket, you see sparks, you see pollution, you hear a sound. So, you have not destroyed the rocket. Instead, you have converted it to different forms. The forms of pollution, sound, sparks, and so on. So, we do not create or destroy matter. Matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be only change its form, and this is known as the law of conservation of matter. But in past, many scientists didn't really agree with this. They believed that something just disappear. For example, if something like wood was burned, its mass reduced from the total mass of the universe. In 18th century, a French scientist, Antoine Lavoisier, started monitoring these scientists and added his own research. He worked on combustion reaction, or simply processes in which a substance is burned, and he noticed something really surprising. The mass of a substance did not reduce on burning. He noted that gases were produced when a substance was burned. So he carefully collected the gases produced on burning and found out the total mass before and after the combustion remained the same. This explains why in the past scientists thought the mass of substances is reduced on burning, because they didn't consider the mass of the gases that evolved during a chemical change. So the mass of universe is conserved. Let us understand the law of conservation of mass with the help of general chemical reaction. In any chemical reaction, left hand side represent the reactant, whereas right hand side of a chemical reaction represent the product. Here you can see reactant A having 4 atoms and reactant B also having 4 atoms. So the total number of atoms on reactant side is 8. Okay? When reactant A and reactant B react with each other, it form a product that is AB. Now you can calculate the total number of atoms on product side, that is AB. You would found that product AB also having total 8 atoms. Thus, mass of the reactants is equal to mass of the product. So this law means that when chemical reactions takes place, there is no loss or gain of atoms. Only a rearrangement of atoms takes place, keeping the total number of atoms the same. For example, calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3, on heating decomposes to form calcium oxide CaO and carbon dioxide CO2. It is found that if 100 gram of calcium carbonate is heated, it gives 56 gram of calcium oxide and 44 gram of carbon dioxide. Thus, the mass of the reactant is equal to the mass of the products. That is, mass of the calcium carbonate is equal to the mass of the calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Brownian movement. The continuous zigzag motion of fine particles suspended in a gas or a liquid is called Brownian movement. It was discovered in the year 1827 by the botanist Robert Brown and is named after him. Let us understand Brownian movement with the help of an example. As you all have observed, a beam of sunlight entering in a dark room through a window or through a fine hole, in which dust particles moves constantly in a haphazard manner. So what makes these dust particles to move continuously in air? You already know that air is a mixture of gases and there are large intermolecular spaces between the gas molecules, due to which gas molecules are always in a state of free random movement. So that's why molecules hit the dust particles from all the directions and make them move in an irregular manner. Similarly, if pollen grains are placed in water, they do not remain at rest but move about continuously and randomly. So, this is also an example of Brownian movement. If you want, you can perform this activity at your home.